talk a little bit about the future of payments first, before we go to the panel. Ralf, sorry about that, I got mixed up.
No worries. It's early of the day and I nearly got forgotten. Okay, we'll manage. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ralf Gladis, and normally when people climb that stage, they like to talk about cool technologies or great innovations. I'm not going to do that. Let's talk about something else. Yeah? I would like to take 20 minutes on that stage to talk about the state of our industry and the challenges we face. And obviously, how we might be able to overcome that. Yeah? So before I go there, please let me quickly introduce myself and build some trust here, because you might hear some strange things. My name's Ralf Gladis. I'm in payments since 22 years. I'm co-founder and CEO of Computop, the payment people. We are headquartered in Germany. We have offices in the US, UK, and China. We service around 15,000 merchants with a processing volume of around 31 billion US dollars. It's mostly mid-size and large merchants we are servicing. And obviously also acquirers and banks we do support. Now, in 22 years, I've seen quite a lot of technologies coming and going, and payment standards coming and going, and payment companies coming and going. The one thing I haven't seen during the last 20 years is the number of challenges our industry currently faces, and I would like to remind you on that. And actually, this is going to be my appeal for more cooperation, because not even the big guys will be able to handle everything. And I'm just going to add to mention a few challenges here. The most important ones, please forgive me, I had to pick and choose. I have only 20 minutes. So, regulation, of course. PSD2 in Europe comes with 2 new business opportunities: access to account and payment initiation services. However, there's a huge regulatory burden. Yeah? So Computop has been a payment service provider focused on IT. So we haven't been regulated so far. However, going there is quite a big challenge. So we do, but it's a big deal. And even if you're already regulated, extending that regulation to access to account and to payment initiation services is a big effort. 3D Secure 2.0. Okay. Well, that's not that new. However, I bet that until 3D Secure 2.0 is actually working smoothly and providing a better conversion, that will keep us busy for a year at least. Now, two-factor authentication and biometrics is on the rise, and it's far beyond just credit card authentication. We will need to apply biometrics to fraud prevention and also to other kinds of authentication services because users are going to love that. Yeah? With biometrics coming through payments and all of us using it with our phones, as payment service providers, we have to think about how to apply biometrics to our payment services and to our fraud prevention services. Then, of course, the Internet of Things. This is not something in the future. This is happening now. Could be the car that's going to pay for parking and fuel automatically. This is kind of silent payment, or the printer that's going to buy the cartridge in itself. However, providing that kind of silent payment is nothing we have done in the past. And there is a certain contradiction, think about it, between silent payment and two-factor authentication, isn't there? Yeah. So that's going to be quite interesting. And then, of course, artificial intelligence. Our industry is sitting on a pile of data, but it's not our data, guys. It's our customers' data. Yeah? And we will have to provide them with intelligence on their data. Now, going there isn't easy. Yeah? We are currently doing that. And then, of course, security. Well, probably most of you, Computop was part of a DDoS attack 2 years ago or 3 years ago. As yourselves, we know that protecting ourselves against such hacker attacks is something very important. And also we need to protect our merchants and consumer data with strong encryption like PCI P2P. Now, when I said all of this to a business friend this morning, he took the opportunity of saying, okay, really, Ralf, is your company big enough to do all that? Yeah, so we're 130 people, and I gave you other numbers. So is it? Well, that's actually not the question. I believe, and the investors in the room will know I'm the hardest guy to talk to for investors, because I always say no. M&A activities are failing in 2/3 of the cases. And when I hear that a company is going into an M&A activities, I'm a happy person. There's no need to be afraid, because it'll be a clash of technology and it'll be a clash of cultures. Now, if you have that kind of challenge, you don't do that. So if we want to handle this, M&A, I believe, is not a good idea, because we'll be busy with ourselves instead of handling all of those challenges. So I'm not a big believer in M&A activities, and I don't think the companies who went that way will be at the forefront of solving all of those issues. So this is a look forward. Let's take a look back. Last year, our customer Sixt Rent-A-Car, they presented that map. And that includes 118 countries where they do business. One of the promises our industry gave to merchants was global payments. It's also in the claim of my company, Global Omnichannel Payments. But I do believe we haven't even kept that promise. So while we are thinking about the cool new things, artificial intelligence and Internet of Things and all of that, we haven't even solved that issue. Because really, if you talk to international or global merchants, they can't find, there's nobody in this room who's able to do payments in all of those countries. I do know, because when I talk to them, we are connected to 70 acquirers. So when I talk to them about this kind of project, they get silent, because typically an acquirer has only licenses in a few regions. So we still need to solve that. And how can we do that? I think international payments is actually an area where we are quite working together very well already. We have to. Nobody has the silver bullet for all of those countries. Still, few of us have actually the reach to solve that kind of riddle, because you need to have a lot of interfaces, you need to have a lot of cooperations with international customers. So still today, many merchants, when they are global, have to implement several PSPs, several banks, several acquirers. That's something we should change. Another example. Do we have Omnichannel payments? Well, of course. If it's a sales meeting, we'll say yes, right? All of us. But do we? No, we don't. There are many acquirers out there. They'll tell you, okay, point of sale, there's one platform, and there's another platform that's e-commerce, and there's another platform that's domestic, and there's another platform that's international payments. Really? Yeah, it's 2019. Still not solved. So if somebody's telling you that all of the issues I mentioned before are not a problem, well, ask him about those details. We all should have solved earlier. So something else I would like to mention is, if I may ask, who of you are online PSPs? Could you raise a hand? Okay. Okay. Pure players online. Not so many. Okay. That's good. Well, my impression is that there are actually more pure players out there than in this room. However, I believe having the omnichannel capabilities is a question of life and death. A payment service provider can't survive without omnichannel point of sale, mobile and online capabilities. So we went there 5-6 years ago, and the reason is that Computop works for many retailers that are high street retailers and online retailers. And we knew, of course, retailers must move into the omnichannel world for two simple reasons. Well, implementing their cross-channel activities, like something simple, like return in store. Consumer buys online, returns in store. Will the cash register, that's still an issue in our industry, will the cash register be able to do a refund with an online payment? Well, very often the answer is no. And the reason for that is typically in the past, merchants had PSPs and acquirers for their point of sale business on the one hand, and for their online business on the other hand. And now that has to converge. That's going to be interesting times, because merchants will have to make a decision for their cross-channel activities. Do we go with the point of sale PSP, or do we go with the e-commerce PSP? Both obviously providing the whole range of services. So, I'm running out of time. I promised to give you a bit of an insight how Computop is working, making Computop a bit of a case and success story. I know we are all growing in this room, so it's fast-growing businesses. The way we grew is, since 20 years, building transparent partnerships. So we are not pretending, like some of our competitors, that we are doing all alone. Actually, we are doing business very well with partners. So we are connected to 70 acquirers in order to cover such needs like the needs of Sixt and other global companies. And also, when we moved into the point of sale space, we had help from CCV, which is a great point of sale expert in Germany and the Netherlands. So around 100 alternative payment methods we implemented directly ourselves. However, this is so much effort, there's so much interfaces, so we are very glad that we have help of PPRO and PayU in order to cover the whole range of 350 payment methods we are providing to our customers. And actually, I don't know if they get one, but if a payments company would deserve an award, it's PPRO, because they probably help most of us with many payment methods. And it was kind of visionary to understand that the whole industry will need the help in terms of getting so many payment methods up and running in an international surrounding. So then we work with marketplaces, and we have help from Limonetic there. We do collecting, and I'm actually still looking after, talking about cooperation, I'm actually still looking after behavioral fraud prevention. That would be an interesting discussion. We have a booth outside there where you could reach us if you do that. So what do we provide as a company? So we are actually very open also to competitors, to banks, to acquirers. We do white label business, for example, for UniCredit since 18 years. So we are kind of a hidden secret in this white label industry. And that's omnichannel, e-commerce, point of sale, and everything. We developed our own AI fraud score, which is available with or without our payment solution. And 1 minute on AI, we designed an AI platform that's not only used for fraud prevention, but we actually want our customers and our partners to use that, to be able to use that AI platform for their own analytics. So it's not only about payments, it's about payment, it's about marketing data, it's about logistics data. It's kind of a completely new business development we've done there. So we are open to cooperate in the area of AI too. And there's obviously biometrics and our Chinese paygate, which is truly local. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I wanted to achieve with that presentation is to put in your minds thinking about how to solve the issues we have in this industry during this event. Maybe you could think about how to cooperate. The MPE is a great place to have that kind of discussion. Who could help me with this and that? But there's one thing for sure. Nobody will solve all those riddles alone. So let's work together. Thank you.
Thank you for a very positive vision, Ralf. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.